There are 4 teams in the AFC East, and only one of them has truly improved in all 3 phases of the game this offseason. You know which one it is, but what nobody is talking about is the exact reason why the other 3 teams simply aren't capable of threatening the Patriots in 2026. And it goes far beyond talent. It has to do with quarterbacks. It has to do with front office decisions, and it has to do with a historical pattern that this organization has used twice before to return to the top of the NFL. National analysts continue to rank the Patriots below expectations. Fans are debating whether the team will repeat last season's 14 wins. And today I'm going to show you, team by team, exactly why the path to the division title is easier than it seems, and why the real threat in the conference isn't even within the division itself. If you want to understand the complete scenario before training begins, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Let's start with the worst team in the division. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Our goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and you can be part of this milestone. Let's get straight to the point. The Miami Dolphins aren't competing for anything in 2026. The franchise traded Tua Tagovailoa for Malik Willis, a quarterback with no proven track record as a starter, and hasn't replaced virtually any important departures. Jalen Waddle remains without a suitable replacement in the receiving corps. Bradley Chubb, who totaled 8.5 sacks last season, was released without a direct replacement at edge rusher. The team had 13 draft picks, and even so, the most promising names, like tackle Caden Proctor, quarterback Chris Johnson, and linebacker Jacob Rodriguez, are long-term bets, not players to compete now. Bleacher Report's own assessment summarizes the scenario. Miami seems destined to repeat the same steps as in 2025, hoping to secure a high pick in the 2027 draft, precisely in the high-profile quarterback class with names like Dante Moore and Arch Manning. In practice, the Dolphins are rebuilding, not competing, and that means 2 practically guaranteed matchups on the Patriots' schedule. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Our goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and you can be part of this milestone. The second team on the list is no different. The New York Jets remain, in the view of any serious analyst, a competitive joke. The franchise hasn't won at Gillette Stadium since the 2010 season. In the offseason, the team had only 8 draft picks, far fewer than the league average, and brought in interesting names like tight end Mason Taylor and cornerback D'Angelo Pons, who replaces Sauce Gardner, but none of them are ready to change the competitive landscape by 2026. The biggest problem, however, remains the most important position in the game. The Jets brought back Justin Fields as a defensive option after he was relegated to backup in Las Vegas last season. Yes, the Jets beat the Patriots in Week 1 last year, but it was an isolated result, without Christian Gonzalez on the field. On the other side of the ball, the Jets only have 2 names that truly worry any opposing defense: Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. With the Patriots' defensive line reinforced by Christian Barmore and Milton Williams, plus strengthened coverage in the secondary, the impact of these 2 players tends to be neutralized. The Dolphins and Jets together have 4 matchups on the schedule, and practically 4 guaranteed wins for the Patriots even before the season begins. Now we get to the team that really matters in this conversation. The Buffalo Bills are undoubtedly one of the best teams in the AFC, and probably the second best team in the conference, behind only the Patriots themselves. But here's the detail that few are discussing. The Bills haven't improved enough this offseason to justify the hype surrounding the franchise. Their signings include names like DJ Moore, acquired via a second-round pick trade, but who comes from a lackluster season with just over 600 receiving yards. CJ Gardner-Johnson arrives as a talented player, but with a history of brief stints with multiple teams and off-field behavioral issues. Bradley Chubb, the same name that left Miami, now reinforces the Bills' pass rush. And Dane Jackson arrives to try and stabilize a secondary that heavily relied on Damar Hamlin last season, a player who, according to recent analyses, is far from the elite level the position demands. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Our goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and you can be part of this milestone. The Bills' offense continues to revolve around players who have already shown their potential. Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, and James Cook are good players, but none of them are the type to single-handedly elevate an offense. The offensive line is, in fact, a strong point of the team, but the Bills' real problem lies precisely in their defensive signings. Chubb, Gardner-Johnson, and Jackson raise more questions than answers. And here's the most important piece of information in this entire analysis. The formula for beating the Buffalo Bills has already been tested and proven. The Denver Broncos showed this in last season's playoffs, and the Patriots themselves repeated the recipe in Week 5, when they contained Josh Allen for practically the entire first half of their head-to-head matchup. Marcus Jones intercepted Allen in that game. The defense got to the quarterback repeatedly. The conclusion is simple. Contain Buffalo's number 17 and the entire team collapses. It's a team that depends on just one man to function. And that's a weakness the Patriots have already proven they know how to exploit. Here's the real reason why the Patriots should repeat their AFC East title win. And it has deep roots in the franchise's history. After losing the conference final in 2006, the team went to the market and brought in Randy Moss, Dante Stallworth, and Wes Welker, completely transforming the offense the following season. After 2013, the Patriots repeated the formula, bringing in names like Brandon Browner and Darrell Revis to bolster the roster after a painful elimination. And now, after losing the Super Bowl last season, the organization has made the exact same move, identified the flaws exposed in the postseason, and went to the market to correct each one of them, one by one. The four most significant departures of the offseason were Stefon Diggs, Jalen Hawkins, Kyle Van Noy, and Calvin Chaisson, the latter being, according to the analysis, the most keenly felt loss for the group. But the Patriots didn't leave any of these departures unanswered. To replace Diggs, the team acquired not one, but two impactful receivers, Romeo Doubs and A.J. Brown. To replace Hawkins in safety, they brought in Kevin Bard, coming off an all-pro season with 7 interceptions. To compensate for the loss of Chaisson in the pass rush, in the roster was filled with a major signing. It's not a rebuild, it's a complete overhaul of a roster that was already a conference champion. And this is where the story connects with the franchise's immediate future. The Patriots have retained virtually the entire roster from the Super Bowl season, and yet they've managed to add elite players around Drake May, who is now entering his 3rd season as a starter, exactly the moment when quarterbacks usually make the most significant career leap. He will have alongside him the natural development of Will Campbell, Jared Wilson, Kyle Williams, and Tre'Veyon Henderson, all gaining collective experience within the same offensive system. On the defensive side, the team didn't need to make many changes because it already had a unit among the top 5 in the NFL in yards allowed, rushing yards, and points per game allowed. The secondary remains intact. The defensive line continues with Christian Barmore and Milton Williams, a duo that virtually no offensive lineup in the league can neutralize. Zach Kerr takes over as defensive coordinator after a standout performance last season, and Terrell Williams returns as an assistant to continue the scheme. Nothing changes drastically, and it is precisely this continuity, combined with strategic reinforcements, that makes this roster even more dangerous than the team that had already reached the league finals. Even so, national rankings continue to underestimate this team. A.J. Brown appears with a low rating on the wide receiver lists. Drake May is ranked 7th or 9th among quarterbacks, behind names that didn't even make the playoffs. Milton Williams is 9th among the league's defensive tackles, and Christian Barmore didn't even receive a vote. The question remains simple. How much longer will the rest of the league continue to ignore what's being built in Foxborough? Because while everyone expects a setback, the Patriots are quietly assembling an even more complete roster than the one that has already gone too far to be ignored. And if the franchise's own recent history serves as a guide, this is exactly the kind of season that ends in February, with a trophy raised on the field.